some flowers everywhere, this butterfly. Boom! Got a fist of power, you can fight me, but you can't close these eyes. Blinded by my light, bigger in my hands. The joy is in the fight. Break the blessed and the damned. Watch out because I don't hold back. Keep pressing cause I'll never crack. Bursting with color I spin. I'm kicking down the gates of hell. I got you underneath my spell. Built up a hell, went to heaven, now I'm breaking in. Hey, 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 time to put your metal to the test now. Hey, 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 don't you know you're messing with the best now? Hey, 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 time to put your metal to the test now. Hey, 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 don't you know you're messing with the best now? Hey, 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 time to put your metal to the test now. Hey, 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 don't you know you're messing with the best now? From the midst of the mountains, a deafening call bellows down over the plains. On a host of battle-worn ears it will fall, pushing out through the thunder and rain. These men of the north, they have suffered too long. The anger, it swells in their veins. Of the spirited roars of lost warriors' songs, distant echoes are all that remain. And my voice is my violence. Hear the skies frozen tears, and no more will be silent with this avant-garde song in our ears. And we stand tall, sons of the snow, we will not fall under these blows, for our hearts they are hardy, our spirits are strong, and our voices are lifted into this avant-garde song. There's something got song. Something got song. Something got song. Your passion.
Hello everyone and welcome to Final Show. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've just got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I want to let everybody know that our addresses have changed. Our Twitch channel has changed from Senstaku to twitch.tv/FinalShowFilms, and our YouTube channel has also changed to youtube.com/FinalShowFilms. Next, we want to thank our $20 tier supporters on Patreon, which is patreon.com/FFilms, by the way, if you want to go throw a couple bucks our way. That's going to be Cat Waterflame, Antitonic, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Monty. Thank you guys for that. Also, our website is in the process of getting updated, so go take a look at finalshowfilms.com. We've got Mara and Jeremy are working on updating all of our stuff there, making it look nice and like a modern website, and frankly, they know what they're doing far better than I or Austin ever did. So if you want to check out the things that are changing over there, you go do that. Follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films for updates for all future things, including things that are going on with our website and things that are going on with the Patreon page, and things that are going on live as we stream them, as well as our podcasts and everything else. So thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a good day.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Everyone is Warlocks, Conflux, the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that I'm running here for all these lovely people on Final Show Films. I am Jack, your storyteller and dungeon master for this campaign, and joining me today is John.
I'm John. I'm playing Elishard Amacy, the human warder undying pact of the host warlock.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Korishana Savakri, Kalishtar, Pact of the Chain, seen semi-following, actually trying to destroy Warlock.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Aurelia Clementine Everns, human archaeologist and Pact of the Blade Warlock.
And Nikki.
Hi everyone, I'm Nikki. I'll be playing Dami Qatar, the Earth Genasi, Pact of the Archfey Blade Warlock.
And Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm playing Cole, the Pact of the Chain Shifter Urchin.
And William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Wotan Saltspray, the dwarven pirate, servant of the thing beneath the waves of the Pact of the Compass.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I am playing Zoe, assassin and hexblade, Pact of the Blade Warlock.
And our last moments in Conflux were spent in an Undergress tunnel somewhere beneath the center of the city, as the Hawkshead Compact was left alone in the dark by their House Youngary guide. Having made contact with the proper drow assassins, the Warlocks, led by Zoe and Aurelia, negotiated for the acceptance of a contract targeting a Conflux citizen. In order to achieve an affordable price, the Compact was forced to accept a job to spy on a tribe of Dao apparently threatening Youngary territory in the Undergress. And now our eyes are once again drawn to where the Warlocks stand alone in the lightless caverns, knowing they have a mere 3 days to acquire as much information as possible about the potentially hostile elementals and report back to the Ungare. So you stand here. Twisting length of cavern passages stretches ahead of you, and the tunnels are yours to explore. What you gonna do?
When they come for you.
Oh dear God.
It's not the Bard game yet.
So how are we approaching this? We're just gonna.
Quietly.
What are we gonna do when they find us then at that point? Because odds are, if we get far enough in to see anything that would be useful to the drow, they're gonna find us.
Have to find the Dow first.
Yeah.
Standing here holding a torch.
Yep.
So should we find those markers again? Try to find one of those.
Yeah, which
the last time we were down here was
the carvings.
Yes.
Yes.
is
Would I know if that's something that most Dow clans do, or if that might be specific to one?
You don't know much about Dow culture. You can give me a history check, but you're at disadvantage on this one.
It's more like, is it like, yes, every territory is that way, or sometimes?
Yep, you are not sure.
Zoe knows very little history, apparently, given how I roll.
Not about this topic, anyway. You know plenty of other history.
So which way was the Dow encampment that we're supposed to be going?
I point in the
Somewhere
opposite
ahead of you.
direction.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere that way.
Well, if we don't have a plan, or at least we don't have enough information to come up with a plan, blindly stumbling in seems to be our only option.
So
Well, if we get to where we can see that they're nearby or something, like that, me or Cora could probably send our people forward.
That is true.
Mine can't turn invisible. I have enough to change Jinx, but if we
having missed a week, just quick confirmation: what is our specific goal with the Dow? Is it just to eliminate, or
to find out information about them?
what their plans are?
Yeah. Anything that might be useful to kind of help the drow push back against them. So.
Yeah, what you guys have been informed of is that the Dow have been pushing the border somewhat in the last few months. And House Ungare wants to primarily determine what their plans / routes or whatever are in the next few months, so that they can begin to formulate some sort of counter to that.
But yeah, I think forward right now, so we can at least find them.
what are the odds that anyone can sneak up on creatures attuned with the earth while we're in an underground cavern?
Not high. Don't.
Maybe, but no. This is fine.
I mean, you guys, I believe all of you, with the exception of maybe Elishard, are aware that Diamond has some natural affinity to conceal people.
Yeah.
But, and of course that Zoe and probably some of the other ones can go invisible, so that would be helpful probably.
Mm-hmm.
The question then is, if we want to split the group like that, because no matter how strong our abilities are, the glowing light of visibility or people stumbling around blind creates challenges to stealth.
Yes.
I can become way more less. I can become way less reliant on the light, but it sort of limits me in other options.
I look to Cora, who I believe is the other person that currently doesn't have dark vision.
I have I have
Was
an
it?
option. It just requires. Yes, it just requires that Shethal essentially be on my shoulder at all times. Otherwise, it's difficult to triangulate vision. So yes, it is workable.
Cora's not fond of piloting herself in reverse third-person view.
No, they are not.
Yeah.
Who fucking inverted the y-axis?
It's the racing game thing where there's a button to look behind you and you always forget where it is.
Yep.
I think that might be the best option if we want to go undetected for a ways, though. It limits things, but that is safer. Especially with Diamond's ability to hide our steps as well.
I can only do that for an hour. So
all right.
We can either do that now or we can do that when we get close to a marker.
I think
and if we wanted to ensure that Elishard could still follow us without the light, he could hang onto my shoulder or something. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So you guys, I assume, arrange yourselves and push forward?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. As you begin to maneuver into the caverns, heading the rough direction you assume is away from Yungari territory and therefore probably closer into wherever this Dao clan holds itself. The tunnels twist and turn, but you're able to more or less maintain forward progress without too much difficulty. It's about an hour of walking before you guys see the first territorial markings. Same ones that you encountered when coming down from Cledwyn's secret cells beneath his manor. Same orientation, 2 hammers, blue around the crown of the head, belt with this strange symbol on it, and seemingly somehow inset or grown out of the rock that bears the imagery.
Jack, for how long were we walking before we got to this symbol?
From where they dropped you off, about an hour. So for you're not entirely sure. It's difficult to gauge distance in the Undergress.
Yep. But roughly an hour?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Should I should I go ahead and do the hide step thing now?
Can you only do that once?
I can only do it once per long rest.
mean, if we're at the border now, it might not hurt if they patrol.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that they are pushing this border further into Drow territory, they would definitely be patrolling around here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now is probably a good time to send one of the things, or one of our familiars out, like a ways ahead of us, outside of the light.
Well, we're gonna douse the light, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Where we could walk in an hour and then send the familiars out. That way we get the most distance.
Tactically, I would say wait until we see any evidence of activity or structures before sending familiars out. That way they don't give away our approach if they're seen, well, because we'll have a place to sit while we're waiting rather than continuing to walk on behind them. But
All right. So what's it going to be?
putting a hand on Diamond's shoulder, dousing the light.
Putting Quasit on shoulder, seeing through Quasit's eyes.
Okay.
Quasit cam.
Quasit cam.
Quasit cam.
Better than nanny cam.
Hashtag Quasit cam.
Yep. Yep.
Why'd you name your
So
Quasit Cam? That's a weird name.
Are we holding and sending familiars first, or are we walking an hour?
Walking and then sending familiars. That way we get the most area covered.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm doing the thingy.
Pass without trace.
It's called merge with stone, but yes. Yeah.
And
Okay.
just because of what happened last time, I'm gonna let
Oh, I don't need to do that.
Cora know that if anything happens to either of our familiars, I have enough to resummon. I have two sets of incense and herbs and stuff that we need.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we both get one re-up.
And to be clear, it's Quasit Cam, not Cam Quasit. Those are two very different things.
Yes. Very much. So.
Now I just imagine like when you see the dog running in the cam, except he runs up and he just throws shit at people.
Or throws up on them.
Yeah, or throws up on them.
All right. So you guys begin to push in past this territorial boundary marker. Go ahead and give me your stealth rolls. Plus 10 from Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Yay, stealth.
Oh my God.
Do I
I
ha-
got double digits.
20.
do I have disadvantage because I'm blind at the moment?
Yes, you do, actually.
I figured.
27.
22.
20.
1.
25.
That'd be a
Oh
19.
my God.
Could be worse.
Good. Yeah.
Slightly.
That could definitely be worse. Could have been a natural 1.
I'm not going invisible
Could be a
yet.
negative
I'm planning on
two.
saving that for when
Negative 1.
Okay.
there's less people around that would give me away, because we are being collective right now.
As long as you stay within 30 feet, you still benefit from my Pass Without Trace.
Cool. 25 then.
All right. So you guys begin to quite silently maneuver your way in. 5 to 10 minutes later, this tunnel opens up into a vast underground chamber. The walls drop away from you on either side, and those of you with dark vision, which is everybody but Elishard, can see rugged terrain stretching out as far as the eye is able to ascertain in this very, very dark environment. The ground is rocky and rugged. Stalagmites thrust upward. It would be very, very difficult to traverse this, but at the mouth of the tunnel, there is a fairly broad, anywhere from 10 to 15 feet wide, at least as far as you guys can see, winding lane that looks to all appearances like it's actively maintained in some fashion, snaking out into this large underground cavern providing at least a fairly smooth avenue for foot traffic.
Can I check for tracks or something?
Tracks or traps?
Footprints.
Footprints, absolutely. Give me a survival check.
Indicators of passage.
I will check for traps.
Also probably smart. Survival, you said?
Survival for tracks and footprints. Investigation for traps and tripwires and that sort of thing.
12.
19.
Cole, you don't find anything that looks hazardous other than, at least not on the pathway.
Yeah.
Zoe, as you're investigating, you can see a few faint footprints from time to time in the thin veneer of dust that sort of covers this otherwise fairly solidly stone and gravel area. It's been
indication?
yeah, it's been traveled, you'd guess, at least some during the last week, if not more recently.
I know I got 12, but any indication of like size of creature or weight or something like that?
Difficult to tell. It's not like a nice clear boot print or anything. It's more, this has obviously been disturbed and scuffed off a bit by something passing through.
Got it. Well, we found signs of passage. Do we want to find a place to bunker down and send out familiars?
That'd be wise.
You still have another 50 minutes of stealth walk if you guys want to keep going.
Yeah.
Or do we want to keep going?
I think.
Let's go as far as we can, I think.
Yeah, and then bunker.
Big and open.
All right. So you guys proceed down, and I assume keeping to the path more or less.
Yeah.
Okay. The minutes tick by. This is a kind of insanely big cavern. At times, the ceiling drops to maybe 20, 30 feet above your head. But it's strange to have spent so much time in tunnels for the last few days and then to have all this amount of open air around you. And every once in a while, there's an actual breeze that sometimes wafts across. A little bit of air circulation in here as well. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you slowly start to come towards the end of Diamond's ability to enhance the sneakiness of your group. Everybody give me a perception check.
Except
Elishard,
me.
you're at disadvantage.
12. Off to a roaring start.
Oh,
4.
17.
20.
9.
How did you get higher than me?
Apparently,
Because
I'm
I
not,
have a-
this is one of those rare points where I'm not currently having to grab Chelsea's head and just turn it in the right direction. He's just looking in the right direction for once.
Yep.
I have +4.
Kurashana, as you begin to come towards this point, your ears catch, but also at the far end of vision, you can start to see a glint of something moving.
Okay. Something.
Probably 70, maybe 100 feet off.
Okay. Can't tell exactly like shape or.
No, you haven't been able to pick. You haven't picked that up quite yet. But it's something that is either catching or producing a level of light source. Fairly soon after that, Cole and Aurelia, you notice this as well.
Something coming.
I will pop that heads up into, let's say, Diamond's head.
Cool.
All right, so most of you have been notified.
Yeah. I notify Zoe.
Yeah.
Good. So Wotan's the only one left out of the loop.
Also me.
I'm looking around to see if there's any place we can hide. We're in a big open cavern. I want to know if there's anything behind.
John, quick question.
Yes.
Who is Elishard holding on to? Because I thought
Diamond.
Okay.
Aurelia, as you look around, there's plenty of rock cover if you carefully pick your way off the road and into the stalagmites.
We need to get off the path. I tap.
Whatever
Oh, there's something coming.
Yeah, hopefully we head that way.
Guess it's time to hide then.
Time to hide.
I'm trying to edge people over.
Okay.
Duck off the side.
Is anybody resisting? All right. Go ahead and give me a second stealth check then. You guys do still have Pass Without a Trace on you.
At this point, I am going to turn invisible.
Okay. You take advantage on it.
Oh. I'm staying with the group. I might be behind a slightly different rock. Just
okay.
So that I can flank if something does.
Oh, sure. You don't have to do disadvantage, I think.
I'm still blind, so
still blind.
Sorry. For some reason I thought I heard advantage.
That was heard. So,
Yes.
17,
18,
24,
23,
30.
With the benefit
13.
Pass Without a Trace, that's 20.
Oh God.
13.
Fine, there's a lot of us.
I blame it on my quads.
I am continually impressed that the only blind party member gets higher stealth scores than some of the other people that can see.
So, Korishana, you are lagging a bit as whatever this thing is draws closer.
clipping into a stalagmite.
Right. And
Sorry. Physics glitches. Cora just goes flying into the air after clipping into a stalagmite. Yeah, and just wasted. It comes up here across the screen.
At first, sort of the ragdoll thing, like I trip and just go spinning and flying across.
Brilliant.
And then you spaghettify somewhere halfway along the way.
Yep.
So you're a little slow on the reaction time there, and while the rest of your compact has managed to make it into a fairly secluded position, as a group of what appears to be 3 or so strangely clad figures come around. The first one spots you and with a shout makes a gesture. And the rest of you
Counter spell.
Ooh.
okay. Go ahead and roll for that.
Okay, it's over level 3. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that is the charisma roll.
Ooh.
Fuck you, dice! Fuck you all to hell!
Oh, ouch.
That would be a natural 2, which gives me a 6.
Yep.
Oh, great DM.
So as this bipedal individual gestures, you reach out and try and sever whatever potentially magical connection is there, but either it's not a spell or it glances off, one of the two, but stone erupts around you, encasing you in basically a 5-foot by 5-foot cell that rises about 20 feet up and then caps at the top.
Just be a pal and tell me it wasn't a spell anyway, so it wouldn't have worked.
I can lie to you, sure.
God damn it.
I mean, would you feel better knowing that it wasn't a spell and you wasted it, or that it was a spell and you
Yes!
just failed? I don't know.
Because I was prepared for that. Granted, I was prepared for the possibility that I was going to roll it too, because this is me. But
yeah. So
No, Wall of
you
Earth is
are encased in a fairly small stone cell.
is my Quasit encased with me?
Oh yeah, he's still sitting on your shoulders.
Damn it!
The rest of you, except for Elishard, of course, clearly see this happening from your hidden spots. They don't seem to have noticed the rest of you yet.
I assume I hear it.
How wide is this?
Hear a grinding sort of. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How wide is this area that we're in?
Interesting. You should ask.
Oh,
Yeah.
pity.
Yes, so still not large enough for a storm cloud. Good to know.
I pull Diamond closer and just like as low a whisper as I can get into her ear. What
Oh,
just
boy.
Actually,
happened?
it might be. Hang on.
In as low a whisper as I can get, I just in Diamond's ear. What just happened?
Cora got
Nope.
encased in a rock tomb, and there are
There are three.
three creatures very close.
Can we tell what these creatures are? Do we know what Dao look like? Are these Dao or
None of you have ever seen a Dao in person.
okay?
Nope.
Do I know what a Dao looks like from research?
Give me a history check at disadvantage.
Tell me.
Okay.
We're just really hoping that their archaeological spaces look like actually
Yeah.
them and not as representational art
That's my
or
question, basically. Probably.
symbolic.
No, that's exactly what they look like, and I'm
And the thing that that Cora's encased in, is it like just 4 walls, or is it 4 walls and the top's closed off?
4 walls and the top.
Ooh,
Yeah, it goes like this.
Yep.
bummer.
And with a 16, Aurelia, you've never even seen a physical representation of one or anything like that.
Okay.
These guys are roughly human size, pretty broad in the shoulders, maybe a little taller than your average humanoid.
Okay.
Very stone-like in nature. It's hard to tell if that's actually their body or if they have some level of armor and helm that seems to be made out of a fairly coarse rock-like material. The fact that they don't have legs, just this swirling column of fragments and gravel and dust that somehow makes very little noise as well,
Yep.
is a little disconcerting.
Yep.
All of them are carrying a heavy 2-handed maul.
Are we talking or are we fighting? Because I want to fight. I'm again
mighty. I love it.
taking the
Let's
gun.
go.
Getting ready.
I assume fighting if they've captured one of us.
Yeah.
Don't know that we have much other choice unless they're willing to negotiate, and whether they even speak our language is a different question.
Also, negotiating isn't really what
So-
we're here for.
Okay.
Does it
Sorry. Go ahead, Zoe.
does it seem like, oh, we put that in a cage, we're gonna keep walking, or do they seem to still be looking around?
If you guys are holding, they'll continue to act.
But
Never.
do we want to
Whatever.
fight? Do we want to fight?
It's not a
Okay, well, since this consensus has not yet been reached, the three of them step forward and sort of surround the pillars. And you see one of them reach into a satchel at its waist and pull out an object that sort of clanks a bit.
invisible. I'm gonna try and flank from where my group is.
Okay, give me a stealth roll with advantage. You've still just got pass without trace as well.
How close are they to us?
How far off the you guys can have gotten up to about 30 feet off the road.
I wanted to get as far
32.
off as possible,
Yep.
probably.
Okay. Scale here is a little representational. This is a big cavern, but yeah,
Yeah.
so you guys are about 30 feet away.
Okay.
Zoe, you're able to maneuver into a slightly flanking position. You have to move a little slowly, obviously, to stay quiet, but you're making progress.
I
I
cast
want
detect
to be
thoughts.
behind them when this inevitably kicks off.
Okay.
I want to cast detect thoughts to figure out what they're planning on doing.
Okay. Which one are you casting detect thoughts on?
It's on myself. I think I can.
Yeah, you can
Yep.
switch, but I need to know who you're trying to.
The one that's reaching its hand into a bag. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it's grabbing.
Surface thoughts you get. This should go fine. These will restrain it.
They're gonna restrain her. I'm talking to probably Diamond because Zoe has gone invisible and I can't talk to people I can't see. So Diamond gets that. They're going to restrain them.
Yes. Maybe we should. I don't think we should fight them. Like that wasn't the point. And if we fight them, there might be more, and we can't do.
Are you saying all this in your head, Diamond?
No, I think she's just whispering because I can't. Mara's.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Give me a stealth roll with disadvantage. While that's happening, Cora, are you preparing anything or hey, yeah.
Wotan's just had like 2 fingers poised under his lip this entire time and is just waiting.
I mean, what the fuck can I prepare? I am frozen and encased in stone.
Yeah, you've still got movement. I wasn't sure if you're like preparing to hold an action or anything like that.
You've been boxed into walls of stone.
Right.
I thought I was encased.
No, it's a 5x5 space that you.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was not clear enough on that.
Okay. Bound, just in a box.
It's like being in a very small jail cell, not an Iron Maiden.
Have I been spotted?
Oh, hang on. Let's.
Oh, sorry.
I don't. There's nothing. Yeah, I will hold an action to chill touch something that looks like it's mad at me if I ever get the opportunity to see one for the rest of my life.
Okay. As you try and whisper this to Aurelia Diamond, your voice obviously carries. Yeah. And immediately 2 heads swivel and one of them, the hands come out again.
I do counterspell.
Roll it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
just click your charisma.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That'll be an ability check for charisma.
And make sure you take yourself off disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So.
I mean, you did better than I did.
Wow, the dice really want the story to go this way.
Wait.
I like that we all know that failed.
I have DM inspiration. I'm using one.
Roll a d8.
Oh yeah, I guess I do too, huh? I mean, come on. How often have we actually used the inspiration we've had?
I use it all the time.
Yeah. So that makes it 12.
Which a counterspell wouldn't need to roll to cast.
Exactly. And another set of stone walls erupt from the ground, this time encasing you and Aurelia both. 10 feet by 10 feet on either side.
Does it get me?
A lid over top.
Does it get me or does it shove me back?
Okay.
Roll me high or low.
Because I had a hand on Diamond's shoulder.
High or low.
Good news is it didn't get you. The bad news is it did get your hand.
Ooh.
Don't say that to the guy with the venom
you
symbiote.
also are encased, Elishard.
Okay. Can I move?
Yeah, you guys are in a 10-foot by 10-foot room with a lid.
And the walls are solid. I'm just gonna feel the wall.
Walls are solid. Yeah, yep, solid stone. Just you thump up against it. It's like, wow, that is
All right.
that is solid ass rock.
So we're fighting now, I believe.
Question.
Zoe,
How
No.
much of this can I see, knowing where my allies were initially, can I see or determine who is or isn't in boxes?
yes, Wall of Stone is not exactly a subtle, quiet spell
Okay.
as I envision it. So yeah, when rock boxes.
So, yeah, I know that basically everyone but me, Woden, and Cole are currently in boxes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool.
This is going well.
Yep. So if you guys want to get started, we can roll initiative now, or I can keep narrating. It is up to you.
I mean,
Fine.
Elishard intends
I
to
was
resist.
just gonna let them
so-
get captured and have cool stealth adventures following them with Cole,
I mean, you can do that too.
but I'm gonna wait until they try and fight things, because if they're fighting, I'll help.
I mean, there's a potential that Wotan might try words, but we'll go ahead and roll initiative because odds are good it'll end up in a fight anyway.
I mean, we only need one, maybe, alive.
My God, Nikki.
I'm going last anyway.
You realize on 2 different types of dice, you've rolled 3 4s in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not quite going last because I think Nikki's before me. Or Nikki's after me.
Yeah.
Line on the tracker.
This is great. This is awesome. It's been great playing Diamond.
We're fine. There's a lot of people in cages.
Ooh, that got a little too real.
You're and if
That is not what I meant, and you fucking know it.
Oh no,
if
I'm
it-
not saying that was what you meant to reference. I'm just saying that is unfortunate.
Oh,
I didn't
Jack,
think
you're going.
about
If
that
it-
at all.
if
yeah,
it
no,
My bad.
to drastically change the tone of the subject, if it makes you feel any better, Nikki, you're about to be trapped in a cage with a monster.
Oh, God.
Not
mean,
better.
that's just my normal day to day anyway, so cool. I mean,
I mean,
Alright.
does he anyway? Yeah.
So, Cole,
Diamond has to make it out because otherwise otherwise there's gonna be 2 new characters because I'm pretty sure your mother will kill me.
All of us. Whole new compact.
Yeah.
It's just
Hey, I'm an assassin. He's afraid of me.
Let's see. Do I distract or quiet? I'm gonna attempt to distract them. I'm gonna throw a hypnotic. We're all far enough away from them, right? Hypnotic pattern up above them.
okay.
Distract as many as I can. Maybe they'll lose concentration.
They're making a wisdom save against what?
15.
Wow. Well, that's 2 natural ones and 1 that's not. Based on iteration. Okay. Kurashana,
Yes.
the cell surrounding you crumbles away.
It hasn't yet become my turn. So do I get my
You're held.
action?
Yeah, you get your held action. There is one of them that is sort of looking around and has drawn its maul in one hand. The other 2 are just sort of standing there slack-eyed.
I'm assuming we're in a fight, so I am still touching that one with them all.
Okay.
Uh,
Go ahead and roll your attack.
18?
The hand splashes out and latches onto it. Roll me some damage.
For a whole fuck you dice.
Jesus.
Wow.
3 damage on 2d8. Okay.
38.
That's
A 1 and a 2.
that's still a DC 10 con check for concentration.
This is
Yeah?
fine.
Yes, it is.
Do the rock people have good con saves?
Probably.
As a rock person, yes.
Doesn't seem to
Say-
lose concentration.
Isn't con one of the bonuses for Earth Genasi?
All Genasi have Constitution. Yes.
It turns
All right.
out being made of an element makes you significantly tougher than just being made of flesh.
Wild.
Right. Any bonus action, Cole?
Yep, I'm shifting.
Okay. Grab yourself some temporary hit points, and it's Aurelia's turn.
I am in a small box, and I'm assuming that a bullet is going to bounce. So,
Also, permanently deafen everybody in that box.
yes. I
Death by-
swear heavily.
To be fair, death by catastrophic ricochet is not a thing that has happened in D&D as far as I'm aware. So,
Yeah.
That would be a fun way to go, though.
What John
Let's
is
make
saying
history.
is it's time to make a first.
I'm sure it's happened in
Like dying
Pathfinder.
by your ally silence spell.
Yeah.
I swear heavily, and because I don't see that the rest of that is happening, we're in a small box. I take out my pick and begin hacking away at a seam. Damn it! Fuck! Shit!
It's fine. You will get out in about 4 hours.
Yep.
So you're digging.
Yeah.
Trying to chip away a rock wall. Okay. Zoe.
So I recently realized that I was incorrectly calculating my pack blade roll, and I'm actually much better with my sword than I thought.
Okay.
Because I have both hexblade and improved packed weapon, neither of which I was calculating.
Oh, well, yeah. Mhm.
plus your charisma plus
Um,
1.
So that is why the roll is different, just for the DM's benefit.
No problem.
And that means I'm gonna from stealth. Cast Branding Smite with my bonus action,
Okay.
and then make my attacks on the guy that has already been hit by Cora.
Okay. Go right ahead.
All right, I have advantage because because I am coming out of invisibility, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
He was. That's a hit.
Awesome. So it does 10 slashing and branding smite, second level, and 10 radiant.
Nice.
But that is also kind of loud.
That's quite loud. Yep. And there is a huge flash, and there's lots of
no,
light.
Correction. Branding smite is not the one that like reverberates.
Oh no, wait, that's the Bernie one, right?
Yeah. Thundering Smite is the one that's loud.
Yeah.
Thank you, William. Yeah.
Okay.
It's bright, so they obviously know, but I didn't ricochet across the entire cavern because I didn't get access to
And
that
you
one.
still only have one attack, right?
No,
with your
I
sword?
got a second. I took
Okay.
I took the thirsting blade thing.
Gotcha. Go for your second attack then, if you like.
Pack blade 24,
That's a hit too.
12 slashing.
Nice.
I can do a lot of single target damage, turns out.
Turns out you can, Cora.
All right.
It doesn't manage to concentrate twice.
Let me see.
Oh, that's right. That's why I was hitting that one.
DC 20 and a DC 12.
No, DC 10 and DC 10.
Oh,
Remember,
that's
it's
right,
half
that's half
damage.
damage. That's right.
Yep. And his con saves, he rolled double natural 20s on, so
That's fine.
that's unusual,
Him
but
anyway.
okay.
All right.
So it's Cora's turn.
All right. So are they still more or less grouped up in one area?
Pretty well.
And none of us are in that area?
You are.
I can take it.
Okay.
Unger of Hadar.
All right.
Alrighty.
Also, Zoe is, because Zoe just stepped up and stabbed them.
Yes.
So can take it.
Yeah, I can take it, but I do want to know whether or not I'm going to need to make the roll or if it would have avoided me. Which is a GM question.
Yeah, no. If you're dropping Hunger of Hadar, it's gonna catch you and Cora.
Oh. Our hypnotized friends are about to wake up.
To be fair, anybody who starts the area in the turn takes cold damage. Anybody who ends the area in the turn must do the dex save. I have done neither, so then I step outside of the
Yes, you do. Yep. Which you yeah, you'd probably be able to get out because remember it's difficult terrain, so you're at half speed.
Okay.
You could drop it in a way that would catch all of. It's still going to catch all of you, but you can do it where you're close enough to the edge that you'll get out.
Can I do that? And just Zoe can run back in if she wants to, but do the pull out, or is that part of? Is it an action to drag?
It's an action to drag somebody.
Okay, never mind.
Yep.
Never mind. Sorry, Zoe.
It's fine.
Okay. So Hunger of Hadar is up, which means these guys all take 2d6 because their turn starts next.
Sweet. 6. Now that's better.
All right.
11
11 damage each. To say they were surprised is a bit of an understatement.
Concentration.
You got a 17 on his con.
Okay, cool.
They immediately try to move out of the zone, which they managed to do. The one that seems to be keeping 3 people in a box right now bears down on you, Cora.
Okay.
What's your AC?
My AC is not great, Bob. 13.
21 hits you.
Yep,
You take 7 bludgeoning damage, and I need you to make a strength save.
Oh, good. That's a save I'm real good at. 4.
And you are knocked prone.
Okay.
Which means his next attack against you is at advantage.
Okay. Well, first of all, I will use my inspiration to see if I can keep Hunger of Hadar.
Okay.
1d8. Okay. Still held for the moment.
Cool. All right. Maul swings again. You take another 9 bludgeoning damage as this heavy hammer just slams down into your shoulder.
Motherfucker. Oh.
Given that
at this point, with my 7, I will use Darkwind's own luck.
Okay.
I forgot I had that. If I roll a 2, I swear to God.
Let's see.
I am flipping my desk.
And going away.
It wasn't a 2.
Not a 2.
Or 2. It was a 1.
Ask and you shall receive.
Okay.
Dark one.
That's good, because I don't think I could flip my desk.
Yeah, maybe don't. It seems like there are probably things like monitors on it.
Monitors and pops and books and hutches and soda and laptops. Yeah.
All right. The other 2.
So annoyed.
Let's see. Zoe is in a box. They haven't spotted Cole. They haven't spotted Wotan. Okay. The other 2 just pile on top of you, Cora.
Oh, good.
One of them grabs your arms. You can go ahead and give me a... let's see. Resisting a grapple is either athletics or acrobatics. Pick whichever one you want.
Well, my acrobatics is a +0, so that's my better one.
Okay.
4.
So he grabs your arms and just sort of bodily holds them up and clenches his hands around your forearms so that you're positioned kind of palm to palm.
Okay.
The other one pulls out whatever that clanky thing is and slams it across and around your hands, and something clicks locked. Your hands are fully encased in some sort of metal cylinder. You can feel either wood or metal pressing your arms together, and both of your hands are completely encased.
Okay.
You are more or less handcuffed at the
Yes.
moment. And anything that requires somatic components will not be able to be cast while these are on.
Well, I guess I'm casting all of my touch spells.
Elishard, your turn.
Then, aren't I?
We're still encased.
You guys are still in a box.
Okay. I'm going to use my action to cast False Life on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at Diamond and just say, if you could punch me, please.
No.
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 It would be very helpful.
No, I don't want to be trapped in a box with a monster.
The monster's not going to attack you.
I don't want to be trapped in a box with something that could attack me, but just I can get us out. I can get us out. Don't worry.
Okay. I'll draw a dagger and get ready to stab myself on my next turn because I've already used my action.
Okay.
Glad.
Wotan.
So in a 10-foot radius sphere, can I catch the one that is holding the wall and also one of the walls of the current wall of stone that is standing?
No, the wall of the 10 by 10 box is like 30 feet off the road.
Okay. So he's not anywhere near it.
No, he's not
Even
anywhere.
though he just ran up to Cora. How far was Cora off the road when they saw him?
Cora had not even made it off the road.
Okay. In that case, Wotan just kind of steps out of the vicinity and just, this is completely unnecessary, he says to the Tao as he puts 2 fingers to his lips and just and casts Shatter on the main spell, on the one who's still got the wall up, positioning it to not catch Cora.
Okay.
That one is going to echo throughout the chamber.
Yeah, one will, yes.
Is that gonna hit me?
No, you're you're far enough away that I don't think that's gonna hit you. Let me look at Shatter again real quick.
Just the 10-foot radius.
10-foot radius. No, you're far enough out of that.
I mean, everything that I do is loud.
Yep.
So,
okay, so he's going to make a con save.
and if he's made out of stone, it's a disadvantage.
That is a 24.
Well, it's level 3. He still takes 8 thunder damage.
8 thunder damage on that guy. All right. And let's see if... Oops. And he's still got a hold of the rocks. Okay. Diamond, your turn.
So technically the spell says something about a path I see in distance, but I just kind of want to do the damage of it. Thunderstep.
Okay.
Hey, that'll hit me anyways.
I wanted to disappear out of there, but the way that the spell works, it doesn't.
Yep, you can only teleport to a space you can see within range, so you can basically teleport 5 feet away.
That's
Also, we're all in there with you.
I can take one of you with me, and I'll probably take Aurelia.
Yep, but you're just transporting within the
I-
box already, and we're all in the box, which is small.
I mean, each creature within 10 feet of the space you left, I feel like there's a transition period where you're not in the area, which is when the thunderclap strikes.
Is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, so you can cast this in the 10-foot box. Whoever you and whoever you take with you won't take the damage. Whoever you don't take with you will.
Then, because he's apparently a masochist, I will leave Elishard and take Aurelia with me.
Okay.
Not that I'm a masochist, it's that I'm required to take damage in order to transform.
Well, you're gonna take 20 thunder damage.
There you go.
And the hope in the dream is that also hits the box and shatters it a little bit, or like
It definitely hits the box. You see that there are some cracks in the wall currently.
I need to make a Constitution saving throw.
And yes, you will need to make a Constitution save.
One shy of success. So I take 20 points of thunder damage. It's
You
good.
take 20 points of thunder damage.
Good thing I grabbed
Cast
a
false
temporary
life.
hit point. Yeah. So 16. The 16 that I gained is gone, which means I only take 4
points of
damage. Minus 4, and I
And
transform.
Even through 6 inches of stone, everybody else can hear the cracking report of the thunder from inside that cube.
And we're left to wonder if that was a spell or did Aurelia try to shoot her gun inside?
very important to me.
And some of us will believe her, and some of us will.
Me and Aurelia did not leave the box.
No. You guys are still in a 20 hit point damaged box.
But now Nightwalker Elishard is in there with you.
And yes.
Are you bigger as in your other form or not?
No.
I don't.
No, he's still a medium-sized critter.
Cool.
Cole.
So, Cora's down on the ground, handcuffed, surrounded by these.
Yeah.
I have seen something like this before, so I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Cora
Okay.
with my bonus action, and main action, I'm going to Finger Guns, Eldritch Blast at him.
All right. Which one?
The one that didn't get hypnotized the first time. I'm gonna
Okay.
just keep wailing on them. So 17 and 11.
First one hits. Second one does not.
9 points of force damage.
Okay.
And I'm
Eventually, they'll roll a natural 1 and they're con safe.
I'm going to move a little bit to the
Not that time, though.
right.
Okay. And Aurelia.
I'm gonna the chipping away. Did that seem to have any effect? No, probably not.
Very little.
Very little. Okay. I'm gonna
It's 6 inches of solid rock, and you've got like a little hand pick.
Yeah.
And you don't really have a lot of room to swing in here with other people and stuff.
Okay. Cool. I put it away and I load the gun, take it over. Just get ready to fire as soon as I can see something.
Okay.
Just waiting.
Zoe.
Okay. I am out of spells. So, important question. Are they all in melee? Actually, is the Hunger of Hadar still up?
No.
Cool. Are they all already in melee of Cora?
Currently, yes.
All right.
She is not, however, considered threatening since she is prone and shackled.
Hey,
Yeah, but I can, if one of them wasn't already, I could potentially make it harder for them to move closer.
Gotcha.
That's not the point though. Yeah, I'm gonna just attack with my Pact Blade.
Okay.
22.
22 hits. Are you going for the weakest one or?
Yeah, the one
Okay.
we've been hitting the most.
All right.
9 slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then second attack 25.
Also hits.
9 more slashing damage.
All right. He is looking very fragile
And
at this point.
If he is the one with the concentration up.
Best you can tell, yeah.
Okay. I'm just, yeah.
And Cora, your turn. You are shackled.
Yes, I am. Hold on just a second. Sorry. I need to check one thing here really quick to make sure that I can do this. I believe that I can.
It turns out most spells require somatic components.
Yeah.
Yes, but so what I'm checking to see, because my quasi can cast spells. Touch spells for me. Do I need to do the components of the spell?
Yes, you do. He can transmit the effect or be the point of origin for the effect, but as far as I understand it, you still have to be able to cast the spell yourself. He's just more or less the vector or the delivery system.
Okay.
There's a lot more spells that don't require verbal components than spells that don't require somatic components.
Yep.
It's true.
I will. This is a point where I regret having changed from an imp to a quasit, because imps do more damage.
Yes, they do.
We'll see if my quasit can do a little damage. So it becomes visible and attacks one of the one that just shackled me.
Okay.
15.
Shithal appears, leaps out, bites down, and it's almost that Looney Tunes moment when the teeth hit the rocks. Yep. The teeth bite down. He tries his best, but he can't get through that stone.
Do you have advantage because he was attacking from invisibility?
They're very well aware that they're being attacked at this point, so I'm going to say no on that one.
And the invisibility just provides advantage from not being seen.
Let me look.
That is part of the invisible status condition.
It's like attacking from being hidden.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and take advantage on that
Okay.
one. Why not?
Well, that's my turn. Next.
Okay.
Didn't matter in the end.
All right. So the Dow turn. Ignoring Kurashana at this point, who's shackled on the ground. One of them turns to face where Cole and Zoe have been. 2 more cells erupt from the ground and encase both of you. The third one rushes towards Wotan and is going to try and swing at him twice with a maul. What's your AC right now, dude?
14.
You get hit for 9 bludgeoning damage.
So he sees the hammer coming, and still in this motion of this is completely unnecessary, just looks at it coming. Please. And a block of ice encases him as he uses Tomb of Levistus.
Okay. You do have to make a strength save.
I can't be knocked prone if I'm encased in ice, can I?
He hit you before you got that off.
It absorbs the triggering damage.
Let me take a look at 2.
It doesn't say the damage is a requirement.
I know, but I'm just
Not
like
prone.
Yeah. You knock the block of ice prone, I guess.
All wish we could do to May.
I mean,
Like,
not wrong.
you're incapacitated. The question is whether or not you're prone incapacitated or not, I guess.
Yeah, no, you are. You would still be knocked prone.
Okay.
So
That's-
yeah, go ahead and make me a strength save.
9. So
Yep,
I'm
you are
prone in a
not-
block of ice.
A block of
My
ice
God!
tipped over on your back.
You did it for them.
I'm just glad. I wish that there was a wider, smooth area. So then, like, if you knocked the ice and it just kept sliding.
Okay. And all he saw was a big block of ice and you falling down. So he's gonna swing at you again.
My AC is the same.
Okay. So you take, with a crit, you take 21 bludgeoning damage.
Good thing I
shit.
good thing I used two Levistus.
Yeah. And let's see. Locked up. You're prone there. And I think that's everything. Elishard, your turn, sir.
There's a wall between me and people that need to be hurt, right?
Yeah.
It's already taken an amount of damage, right?
It's taken some, yep.
Yeah. I'm going to punch it.
Okay. Roll an attack.
Does a 26 hit the wall?
26 hits the wall.
7 bludgeoning damage.
You slam into it. You hit it hard. It doesn't move.
That's fine. The tail strike then comes in.
Okay.
Because I know Wall of Stone does have hit points, so
20 also hits.
for 5 slashing on the tail.
You scrape across it. There's a score in the wall. Doesn't look like it took any damage, though.
That's fine. That's my turn.
Okay.
I smash the wall.
Yeah. Walls have a damage threshold. That makes it Wilton's turn.
How long does tuberculosis last? Let's wait at the end of my next turn. So yeah.
Yep. So you are incapacitated until the end of your next turn. So the end of your next turn comes, you lose the temporary hit points that might remain, and the ice melts away.
Yep.
Okay. Which brings us to Diamond again. I can't hear you. You might just be quiet. Okay, there you go.
On the ground and has a mild panic attack. She doesn't like being in here, and she is going to spend her turn not having a tough time breathing.
Okay. Cole, you are in a 5 foot by 5 foot by about 20 foot tall cell.
I will do the logical thing, and I'm going to turn into a bird and just wait on the floor.
Okay.
If they open it up, it'll just look like I already got out. And
nice.
And for shits and giggles, since ravens can mimic noises, I'm just gonna every once in a while try to mimic the explosion sound I heard from the other cell, and make it sound like I'm trying to break my way out.
Your vocal cords are not quite powerful enough,
Yeah.
but you're doing your best.
Oh, it can ask.
Nicely done, Aurelia.
I am trying to calm Diamond down.
Make a charisma check.
Okay, it's listen, Diamond. Shh, listen.
Probably a
and I'm
persuasion
talking
check.
direct- Yeah. Yep. Charisma. Natural 20. Diamond, listen. Listen to my voice. Just breathe in and out. In and out. Close your eyes.
And that's about 6 seconds. Zoe, you're in a 5 by 5 by roughly 20 foot tall chunk of stone.
Because mentioned that, like, literally all of the things I can do are stab stuff with my sword, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that I'm out of magic.
Yep. So are you just gonna wait?
Actually, let me check something. Oh no, that only works when I murder someone. Damn it. All of my abilities relate directly to murder.
Yeah, assassins.
Yeah, I guess. Hold my action for an attack.
Okay. Sounds good.
Or
Oh.
what do I think? Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cora.
Oh shit! I keep forgetting about that ability. Okay. I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna have absolutely no luck trying to get these off of me. So, how sturdy do they actually feel?
Extremely.
Okay, so the odds that would it take a full round to sort of examine and figure out how to unlatch them?
Most likely, yeah. If you were to try and determine what would be the best avenue of approach to get these off, would probably take at least a round.
Okay, never mind that. Well, I guess I could conceivably do that while my quasit tries to murder something.
Yeah. For you, investigating those would be, oddly enough, an investigation check.
Okay.
And then no advantage for Shathal this time.
Dice are doing as dice are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And dice are doing as dice are doing.
Yep. He scrabbles up against the other guy as well and doesn't seem to make any effect. As you're trying to shift around and get a look at him, it looks like whatever latch there is kind of on the far side.
Okay.
From if you were holding them more or less relaxed in front of you, as relaxed as you can with your forearms kind of latched together pretty hard too.
Does it look like something that requires a key?
At this point, doesn't look like it. It looks like it's latched and fastened, but
I have a plan.
Okay. The Dow that is focused or is being attacked by Shathal pulls something out of his satchel and slaps it across his chest where he's been slashed by Aurelia, or I mean by Zoe. And looks a little less damaged. The other two pounce on Wotan. Wotan, one of them is going to try and grapple you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can attempt to resist that if you'd like.
Sure. 15.
He rolled a 16. Sorry. And you also find your forearms very swiftly bound together in sort of cylindrical clasp clutch.
Those are some really easy to apply manacles, apparently.
Yeah, they honestly, they are. Like, there's a little part of your dwarven craftsman brain that is like, oh, damn, that is some really good design. And that is their action, which brings us to Elishard again.
Continuing to try to bust down a wall.
Go ahead and make your attacks.
Do-do-do-do.
Hit.
25. 13 bludgeoning.
This one actually does some damage to it. Yep, that one bites. There's a crack, and something gives just slightly.
Oh, and tail strike for 7.
Yep.
That's critical hit. Rolled a 1 and a 2.
Yep. Yeah, that's that. Another much longer scrape this time, but that one doesn't seem to have damaged the wall at all. So Wotan, you're shackled up.
As I look up at the two that are sort of standing over me as I stand up from prone.
So
Okay.
you're grappled right now, so you would have
Okay.
to escape that if you were going to stand up.
Sure, why not? Let's see if I can.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope. So yeah, there's a bit of kicking and flailing, but you're not able to get your feet under you quite.
I'll repeat it. This is completely unnecessary. I'm highly amazed at how completely xenophobic the group of you are.
One of them sort of cracks a smile down at you. You've never met us.
No, I haven't. You're not exactly making a good first impression.
You'll learn your place soon. Diamond.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm
Still
calm,
just
but not doing anything.
okay. Let's see. Cole, you're up next. Are you still just
No,
waiting for what
I'll-
happens?
No, I'm gonna pop back out and realize I could have at least tried to break the walls.
Okay.
Bonus action. I really can't do anything. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna come out of bird form and wait.
I
Back
mean,
in next round.
if you don't end up doing anything, is there any reason to come out of bird form?
Yeah, next turn I'll be able to do stuff instead of
Nice.
sit there and caw.
All right. Aurelia and Zoe.
I'm changing
just-
my held action to dodge.
Okay.
I'm just continuing to try and keep Diamond calm. And goodness. I don't know they did that before.
Wait.
Oh. Why the hell not? I'm gonna detect magic.
Can I
Okay.
change my choice because I just realized something?
Yeah.
I'm holding darkness, which is not a spell, it is a drow ability.
Okay.
Detect magic, because this is weird, and I want to know what we're up against right now.
Okay. You can definitely tell that the box you're in was created with some level of magic.
Okay.
And yeah, it's
Was it a spell?
hard to tell.
Okay.
It's got a magical vibrance to it,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't really know that much about because
I know
in a
I know my own
sense,
magic.
right? You know your own magic.
There is an origin point and there is an effect.
Mm-hmm. And that seems to be in keeping with what little you were able to observe.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know if it's technically a spell in that you pull the power from somewhere and you make an effect happen by casting it, or if it's just these things are very earth attuned, and so
Okay,
they
so
can just do this kind of thing sometimes.
Okay, so I can't tell if this would just be something because I also have counterspell.
Right, little nebulous, but you
Okay, I
you
would not
feel
know.
like counterspell would at least would probably still work the same way against
Okay.
this. Yeah,
Cool.
It's worked well for us as a spell so far.
it's worked phenomenally.
Can confirm.
All right,
Yep.
and I can't see anything out of the box because it's too
No.
thick.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
6 inches of stone all the way around you.
6 inches is not 1 foot. Can
No,
I
they're
tell?
6 inches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. If you, you. Oh, sorry. With your detect magic.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Can I tell anything if these things are carrying stuff?
There are some faint vibrancies at where you assume their 3 locations are. There are 3 distinct spots. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Cora.
Yep. All right. I am going to have my have my bestest friend in the whole world. About this tall. Try and undo the latch.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand check for Shathal, I guess. Let me think what the DC on this is probably going to be 16.
Great.
Watch Shathal.
Does it help that he's immune to poison? I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
Latch is poisonous.
Nope.
Oh.
That would be another natural 4.
So, Cora, you've never seen the game of golf played before. So you don't really know exactly what the parallel is when a Dow notices a Quasit trying to undo the handcuffs on somebody who's laying down and just turns around with that maul and goes for the back 9. What's Shathal's AC?
Not great, Bob.
Oh no.
13.
And what happens when Shathal takes 15 bludgeoning damage?
Well, if Shathal was a PC, Shathal would be instantly dead because that's more than twice his total hit points.
Oh.
So Shathal just kind of and spirals off into the darkness, and you hear a little squelch probably about 30 feet down the road.
At which point, Cora, in a classic show of how much sympathy they have for their good friend, useless Quasit.
Seems on point.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we'll use his remaining action to lean down and slip a padlock through the fastenings on the other side of your bonds.
Okay. I technically have not. Well, no, this is obviously their. Never mind. No.
Okay. Wotan, one of the others, does the same to yours. And they kind of lift you up and drag you over and throw you down next to Cora. Given that everybody else is contained, we're going to break initiative temporarily to sort of narrate our way through the next little bit. Elishard, are you going to try?
Yeah,
continue to try to keep breaking through the wall. Okay,
I've got a minute of wall pounding.
Okay.
I presumably know this. What's your ruling on darkness versus walls and physical structures? Does it go through, around?
It does not go through. It'll go around corners, but it won't go like out of one room into another. Right. Let's see. High or low? Oh, okay. Yours is the next one that they come to, Zoe. You hear the walls crumble away around you, and I assume you just drop darkness immediately?
Yep. Drop darkness. If I have the time for another action, disengage. Otherwise, I'm just running.
You would just have your reaction at this point, because they'd technically sort of be doing this on their turn.
Okay, then
for so your held action would go off, then they would more or less get a full turn, and then you'd
Sure.
be able to do more
Sure.
actions. So they're going to be attacking you at definite disadvantage because they can't see through that. What's your AC right now, Zoe? All right. There we go. All right. So 17. So you take 15 bludgeoning damage from that. Natural 1. So you don't take anything from that.
Do they hit each other because it's in everything is
see.
darkness?
Let's see if they do. High or low?
Low.
Rolled a 13 on a d20. So nope, just a clean whiff on that one. Maybe the next one will get a natural 1. 9 misses you. The next one did get a natural 1. Still low?
Yep.
Rolled a 19. All right.
Oh.
So only one of them manages to hit you, and then you are just running off.
Instead of double dashing, I'm disengaging and dashing.
Okay.
Just in case.
All right.
Or actually, wait. This is another everyone runs it differently question.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunity attacks do or don't work when you don't have line of sight.
If they know you're there, that's an interesting question at this point. I think for balance, I would say they'll still get to make opportunity attacks. They'll still be a disadvantage because they can't see you,
Yeah.
but
Disengaging and dashing. Then.
okay. So disengage and you're
and running with my movement.
right, 30 feet away.
Yeah.
All right. They're going to let you go, actually.
Cool.
They move over to Cole.
Can they see? Because darkness does last a reasonable. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Cole is they'll either just wait it out or they're familiar with the
Fair enough.
With darkness living underground, but
darkness,
yeah,
which is kind of the drow like inkblot attack.
Right, yeah, right. It's the squid ink drow.
Drow are secretly octopi. I'm fine with this.
Me too.
Ooh. Ooh.
So
They're squid kids.
while they're fighting with Zoe, could I have done something?
I mean, you're still in your cell, but yeah.
Yeah. So I will use my action since I don't have to see a spot just anywhere within 30 feet. I'm going to pop Jinx out outside the wall.
Okay.
So that I can have eyes outside. And then if I see them fighting, I'm going to try to at least Eldritch Blast the wall a couple times.
Okay. Well, you can't really see because magical darkness. You won't be able to see them until they start to approach your cell.
Yeah. If they start approaching and I'm not Eldritch Blasting the wall, then I'll turn into a bird.
Okay. So you turn into a bird.
Yeah.
And the cell crumbles away. They look down and they're going to grab for you.
I'm going to talk through Jinx behind them and say, over here, assholes, while they grab for me and I try to fly away.
All right. As a raven, you can either use athletics or acrobatics to try and escape a grapple.
1 second.
The raven get advantage for being tiny and difficult to grab while trying to fly away.
Not when they roll a natural 20 on their first attempt.
Oh,
So I'll use Dex because athletics would be at a -4.
Okay.
So D20 plus 2. $13.
You are grabbed as a raven.
I'll just caw at him.
Okay. And they'll snap your
you-
neck.
Let's see. They can't attack me. Where's the raven things?
It's only invulnerable when it's on your shoulder.
That's true. Well, they can try to, but I'm a very hardy bird. So technically, I have 54 hit points. So I'm the ultimate raven. So-
You are the world's toughest bird. All right, let me take a look at some of this stuff real quick then. Where'd it go? There it is.
that. And then. Let's see.
Just yank on the bird's neck and it doesn't snap, and they're like, "What the hell is this?"
Yep.
I wish I had heard something demonic at this point, because then I'd mimic it.
You
Raven.
just-
Snap the neck.
Interesting. Okay. Do. Form and game statistics of a raven. Honestly, since based on the way it's worded, I'm going to say this works sort of the same as beast form, which is once your raven form loses all of its hit points, you revert.
Oh, okay.
Because there's not really any other way I can see to read this otherwise.
See, when I had this ability, I was always petitioning that you just died if your raven form's 1 hit point died. That's not a fair thing to impose on other people.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So he's going to, I mean, he's not going to swing his hammer while. So yeah,
Gallagher the
once
raven.
right, yeah,
Feathers.
right. So yeah, he just kind of punches your head in more or less with his fist. Your raven form takes 14 points of bludgeoning damage, which should be enough to get you to revert.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they sort of pile onto you. I'll give you another shot at the escape from the grapple, since reverting to actual humanoid form
Okay.
is
So another acrobatics check.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man, these guys are just
Wow.
wrestling all of you, and your hands are bound and locked as well. At which point, the one that's most injured kind of limps up, drags you over, and lays you down. And there's a little bit of murmuring back and forth. Go ahead and roll me, like, say, 4 attacks on the wall there, John.
All right. 4 rounds of attacks, because I do attack with my tail each
Or,
time.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Mhm. 4 rounds of attacks.
19 for 13.
Some damage.
For 7.
No damage.
26 for 10.
No damage.
20 for 8.
Also no damage.
You said 3 or 4 rounds?
4 rounds.
Natural 20 for 20.
We'll just say that's when you sort of push your arm all the way through the wall.
I had been trying to prepare.
Okay.
True Strike, I looked at it and it doesn't actually say I need to see the person to
Let me look.
do this. It's just add a target in range, which is a target in range. I don't know if
It doesn't say you have to see them.
no.
Murder hole has been created.
The murder hole has been created.
Yeah. So I've got True Strike up, and I'm just hoping to time it right in when he breaks the wall down.
Just stick the
Alright.
barrel through and
Yeah, just stick the barrel through.
Murder hole.
Like, hi, motherfucker.
All right. So Elishard has made a hole in the wall. And then what are you guys planning on doing?
I'm planning on firing. I don't know what's out there. I haven't been able to
All
see
right,
any of
not,
this.
it's not big enough for you to actually really get out
Okay.
of. The angle that it shooting through this hole, because it's not really facing directly towards where they are, and there's a lot of
Okay.
stalagmites in the way.
Got it.
They have a good 3/4 cover from you
Okay.
at this point.
Okay.
You've got almost complete cover from them, so you
I
know.
do. And I have advantage from True Strike. So I'm gonna try it.
Kill the injured one.
God damn it.
Everyone who says True Strike is useless, this is the situation where True Strike
You
is
natural 20 and ricochet the bullet off a stalagmite through
Come
his
on.
brain.
Can you
All right.
curve the bullet?
Here we go.
God.
15. Not great.
15 would unfortunately not even hit their regular armor. So
Okay.
there's a resounding explosion, and something chinks off of some of the stone behind them. They kind of jerk their heads,
This is.
and then one of them shouts,
I activate the.
"These
the
your
hot-
friends?"
Do we understand them shouting that?
Oh yeah, it's common.
Okay. I can't respond at the moment, so I'm just going to keep
Right.
trying to open the hole.
And Aurelia, as you look out, you
Yeah.
see Cole and Korishana and Wotan all shackled by their arms, laying on their backs on the stone,
Okay.
and there's the head of a maul resting on each one of their foreheads right now.
Fuck. Stand down. Stand down. Yes.
See, this is
Then you
fun.
can approach one at a time. Disarm where you stand.
I put my rifle in the interdimensional rift in space and time. Walk out.
And the wall with the hole in it collapses. The other part of the box stays up.
I approach.
The one with his maul on Cole flips it back over his shoulder. Hands!
I'll put
And
them
they
out.
shackle you. Push you down next to Cole.
Come on, someone needs to misbehave so we get a full Negan here.
Are you
Next.
unconscious or volunteering?
Elishard, are you still all monstered?
Yeah, I'm still monstered up.
Okay.
What?
But do I sense Diamond moving at all?
Can't hear you.
Diamond goes. She didn't have Storm summoned, so she's unarmed.
Cuffs, shackle, lock, clinks into place. Last one.
I'll approach.
Do it! Do it!
Oh god.
It kind of
Remember, it's not the visuals, it's the sound.
I mean, I haven't reverted yet, so
Right, yeah.
so I approach, and there's just this like low growl as I stick the hands out.
They look at the cuffs, look at the hands. Look at the hands.
I put two together.
And then one of them just reaches into a pouch and starts pulling out a very, like, probably a good 20-foot length of chain that is wrapped around your wrists. And then locked into place.
I'm very tempted to turn my currently bludgeoning weapons into piercing weapons so the chains just slide off, but I won't.
Do it! Do it!
Maybe
You're
as
the
we start,
most likely to survive being told you're doing the wrong thing.
maybe actually put my arms down, and as I put my arms down, exactly that happens. Like the current like brick-like hands just thin out into spears.
Do you do that?
Yeah, and the chain just.
Give me a sleight of hand check. See
I'm-
if
Would it? Oh, it's not even a sleight of hand check. It's just a thing I can do when I can change my weapons from claws to bashing to piercing.
yes,
damage.
this is the sleight of hand check. Is can you do it in such a way that you no longer have wrists?
Ah, okay. 18.
Yeah, so the chains just kind of snake down over the much narrower profile.
God damn it.
I just look at
They
them.
look at you.
Well, look at them.
Shrug
Right,
and
yeah.
stab people while you're shrugging.
So they take a moment, pull out a little bit more chain, and basically make sort of like a belt with with like arm shackles to it, so that you're kind of straitjacketed vaguely.
It'll be
I
hilarious
like the
now when
idea that
when
they
I
do
revert.
Like they do like the toddler leash
Yeah.
around.
Meanwhile, Zoe,
Hmm.
where are you off to?
So once they seem to have turned their attention from me, I'm still trying to keep moving, but I'm going to be stealthy about it.
Back towards where you came from, or ahead further deeper into territory?
Back in the direction I know a bit better
Okay,
at this point.
sure. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Okay. 21.
Nobody seems to be following you. You're pretty confident in your ability to be cautiously navigating.
And once I've put some distance between the point of combat and me, I'm gonna try and find somewhere pretty hidden to take a short rest.
Okay. You are definitely able to do that.
Yeah.
The rest of you, shackled, locked, and are prodded forward the same way that you had originally been going. They push for a couple hours of transit.
At some point, I will revert. That'll be another comedy scene.
Yep. At that point, there's a little bit of a jolt, but you are swiftly cuffed as well, and the chains then are utilized to actually link all of you together in a line by your handcuffs, more or less.
In any of the shuffle, I am attempting to get as much of an idea of how these things work as I possibly can.
Okay. So basically, they're a full forearm enclosure that goes probably about 3/4 of the way up to the elbow.
Okay.
They have a pair of clasps on the bottom side, more or less.
Okay.
And those are linked by a set of pins that the padlock holds closed.
Cool.
You haven't seen anybody get unlocked yet, but you assume they would have the keys to these locks somewhere nearby, if not on their person.
While I'm being led around blind, because I don't think they're going to hold a torch up for me, I'm just going to spend that time getting a feel for the durability of these. And trying to figure out what would happen if I transformed while these were on.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Because that's literally all I can do at the moment.
Yep.
That's a natural 1.
These are sturdy as hell, and you're pretty sure you would break your hands.
Eh.
You do notice, however, that as you're sort of stumbling, and obviously the one of the two that can't see, as soon as they notice that, torches come out.
Okay. They're conscientious. Conscientious?
Yes.
Yep.
Slavers?
That's the word you're looking for. And for a few hours, you travel through the Undergress along this road that sometimes narrows, goes through a passage or two, and then reopens again into larger and larger caverns. And then eventually, you come to what looks like a settlement. There's a decent amount of activity around. And you see that it's, as you come down, it's almost like approaching from an exterior outdoors like stance, because further away, probably about a mile or two, as you come out into a cavern, you can see that there's lights in the distance and a gradual slope that seems to be leading down towards this location. As you draw closer, you can see that there is an actual wall built around this. The settlement's geometric in layout, buildings all apparently positioned concentrically from a central plaza that seems to be about 100 or so feet across. Only a few of the buildings are multi-story. The architecture seems kind of evocative of natural stone slabs that are leaning inward to form sloping walls at various pitches for each individual structure. As you approach the gate, there's a gong that rings, and these metal doors swing open in a pair with a fairly broad avenue leading directly into the center of the settlement. Scattered rocks and boulders kind of litter the ground between these two rows of pillars that run in, with brass basins mounted on top of them that are holding these flaming beacons nearly 30 feet overhead. It's not nearly daylight, but there's still plenty of light to see by. And the paths all lead to a massive palace seemingly grown out of quartz crystal and obsidian. Myriad gems are inset at nearly every intersection of the lines on this structure, creating a breathtakingly resplendent display in this crackling firelight. You guys are stopped on the side of the plaza across from this palace, pushed into a series of benches, and a table is dragged in front of you. Your hand shackles are affixed to the underside of it, and food is placed out in front of you. The more injured one of these individuals that captured you nods towards it. Eat something. You're going to need it. And they step away, leaving a few other figures to sort of stand guard nearby, not necessarily directly flanking you. Zoe, after you finished your short rest, what would you be doing then?
Oh, jeez.
Leaving. We failed.
Moving slowly, stealthily, and hiding if I so much as think anything might be coming. I am going to make my way in the direction they were heading. Hopefully I can, based on the fact, hopefully one of my allies was smart enough to leave a trail, or
Jinx
or
is
I
over
can
there.
track based on they were carrying potentially uncooperative prisoners.
Give me a stealth check and a survival check.
And I am going to use invisibility again because I have my spells back.
Okay. You can take advantage on the stealth check then.
Yep.
It doesn't matter for what Zoe's doing, but once they step away, I'm going to take that moment to cast Tongues on myself, because Tongues does not require a somatic component.
Okay.
So that I can understand anything being said.
23 for the stealth and 20 for the survival.
All right. So you are able to fairly quietly and honestly reasonably quickly move along following these guys. Tracks are very clearly evident as you make your way, especially knowing that one of them's a dwarf. You know, you've got a number of prisoners, probably 3 guards, and you're able to, even when there are a few forks in the road and that sort of thing, pretty easily trail them.
Cool.
You're probably probably about at least 20 minutes behind when you come out the mouth of the tunnel that leads towards this settlement set in a large open cavern about a mile distant that you can see with the flaring torchlight.
Do I have, given I am naturally a creature of the underground, a sense of day? Is this a good time to end the day before I get exhausted, or am I pretty...
You guys are honestly kind of hitting roughly evening time. Not like, okay, definitely need to sleep, but towards the end of the day, yeah.
Then I'm going to start looking for a place. Good, I have some time to do this. I'm going to look for a place that's hidden out of the way, clearly not used by them, to potentially lay down for the night or to get back to in general.
Give me another survival check then.
I would like to use my last inspiration on that.
Okay. Roll a d8.
Well, that's a 10.
10. With a 10, it takes you a while. Mainly you find like a small crack in the cave wall that doesn't look like it's been trafficked recently. The only thing that it holds are like a marginally decent layer of bat droppings, but none of them fresh. So apparently if they do nest here, it's been a while.
Better bats than Dow. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. The rest of you. You're given food, which you can eat or not, should you choose.
Yep.
What does it look
And
like?
What was that?
I said, what does it look like?
Mushrooms, mostly.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
Okay.
Nope.
Give it a sniff and
Yep.
eat it.
It's seasoned to an extent.
Oh,
There's some bits of meat, dried meat in there as well. It's kind of like a fungus jerky trail mix.
If I pop Jinx out, does she have an aversion to any of it? Like she did with the
no.
cattails?
Nope. Jinx doesn't seem to care.
Then I will eat.
My name is Cole, and I never refuse a snack.
Cole is a snack.
I eat. And if I notice that Diamond and Cora are not eating, because I know
no.
Diamond was freaked out and
Diamond
Cora...
eats. Diamond eats.
Diamond does?
Yeah.
Cora's not eating though?
Correct.
Okay. Cora, we need to stay alive in your mind. You do require food.
Whereas the one who's not eating, you can also make a perception check since you're a little less distracted than the rest.
Yeah, Woden is also not at the
And
moment.
Wotan can as well then.
15.
As usual.
I was distracting you.
Yeah, I had somebody speak in my head.
Yeah.
I had people
Yes,
talking in my head, not the normal people talking in my head, the weirdo people. Wotan, you primarily notice that the population that is wandering back and forth is probably maybe 10% Dao. The rest of them are a mix of some drow, some Durgar, some gnomes, the occasional kobolds. All of the non-Dao individuals, however, have either a brass band around one or both of their biceps or a brass collar around their necks. Most of them are... nobody looks like they're suffering from deprivation. Some of them are dressed better than others, but aside from the obvious tendency to be very aware of and definitely not get in the way of any of the Dao that are present, everybody seems to be going about their business fairly quietly. Occasionally that gong will ring over the settlement, but everything seems to be proceeding as one would expect in a small civilized enclave of some sort.
And we have more than one guard on us at all times.
Yes. There's always at least one Dao standing watch. Several of the guards, however, are Durgar as well.
I'm assuming the Dao is the one that seems to have keys.
Nobody actually visually has keys yet.
Mm.
The only lock that has been locked and unlocked was the one that was on the chain that was holding you guys together. And that was one of the scouts who did that, and they have left at this point.
So, Chorus simply responds mentally.
What did you say? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
That's because I haven't said it yet.
Okay, sorry. I thought I missed it.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Not having a single meal is not going to result in my death, and if it does, so be it. I have reasons.
Wotan, stay alive, eat food.
Thanks, Mom.
He doesn't have he doesn't have an ability to communicate back, so he just shakes his head for a minute and looks around.
While I'm eating, because I don't give a fuck, I'm going to look at the guards and the sort of like look and inspect them, just sort of see what the level of attention is, what the level of like professionalism is compared to what I'm used to with warders. Like what's the comparison guard quality wise, basically, just trying to get a feel for what they're like.
Vic, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
8.
Very disciplined. That's the first thing. That's the main thing that you pull off. There's rank and file in that the Dao rank and everybody else files behind.
If it helps, I have the Watcher's Eye background feature, which was what I was more hoping to be using rather than a roll.
Yeah. The Dao are definitely in charge. They're the ones who do the enforcing of anything. Their say is what goes, pretty obviously. Everybody else it's not so much that the Dow are at the top of the ranking and everybody else is filing in lower down, as in more that the Dow are the only ones on the ranking and everybody else is slaves.
Do I get a sense from the slave guards that they like being slave guards, or that they're doing that because that's their only choice at the moment?
You do not see any hint of disgust, rebellion, resentment, anything. It's a very structured sort of, yeah, you don't really feel much in the way of, oh, this is I just need to push the right buttons and we can get them to throw off their bonds and rise against their masters.
Yeah, no.
This is the status quo. This is the default. This is normal.
Okay.
I'm looking across the plaza toward the big building because that is fancy and there's someone who lives in there probably, or maybe there's no one, and I'm trying to figure out what any of this means, basically. Just is that a temple? Is that a home? Is it a palace? I don't know.
Everything seems to indicate palace.
Okay.
Yep.
And does it seem like that is because it's very structured, that it's multi-family palace? Are all the Dow going to go back up in there, or is that someone else, another person that we have not seen yet?
Give me an insight check on that one. See if you can pick anything up.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I don't have advantage. 15.
You're kind of your guess would be that's where whoever's in charge lives.
Yep. Okay. And that's not any of these people.
Doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
We still have our bags and stuff, or were those taken as well?
All of your belongings have been removed.
My rations.
You have them in front of you now. They're just mushrooms and jerky
Explain
instead.
removed.
So you would have been stripped of your belongings except for whatever you're more or less just wearing.
Such as rings?
You can give me a sleight of hand check to see if you can manage to conceal
Because that would change very significantly what happened before all of this.
Oh, actually, no. Your ring definitely would not have been removed because it's locked inside the handcuffs.
Very well, then.
Would Wotan's compass have been left?
He wears that around his neck, right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's a good thing my spellcasting focus is a ring then, because
Oh yeah, mine like a loop thing.
Your compass was left. They noticed it, picked it up, kind of looked at it a bit, and then just kind of tucked it back in. And
because it seems like it's broken most of the time.
I mean, probably.
Yeah. I'm assuming then mine, the little loop thing, I put it in the gun when it's out, but like sometimes I don't always pull the gun out to spell when we get into a fight, so I'm assuming it's separate. Like a separate
did you leave it in your gun when you dimensioned it back?
Actually probably would have. Never mind.
Okay. So yeah, it's in the little
It's in
the pocket.
Okay, cool.
Right. Really important.
I can't remove mine.
Yeah, yours is stuck. Really important. Did they take my pocket watch?
They haven't stripped you guys down that thoroughly. It was mostly just removing the backpacks,
Okay,
anything that was
okay.
sort of like belt attached, that kind of.
They didn't.
yeah.
They didn't frisk and remove. They just
Right. They just sort of were like, all right, bags. Yep. Ours.
Which means I still have my daggers because my daggers are strapped to the inside of my bracers.
You're stuck.
Which means I'm going to have to get that bag of gold back at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are our bags near us right now, or did they?
Oh no, they hold those. They hold those off.
Okay.
Those are long gone.
Yep. Somewhere.
You guys remain for about an hour and a half.
Damn it.
Long enough to get a short rest.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
spell slots, and I'm gonna spend 1 hit dice.
I am uninjured
Because
again.
I have an important question.
Yes.
If we're still handlocked, how is anybody eating?
You're expected to bend your head down and eat it off the table.
Normal for Cole.
That's doubly why Cora's not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Wotan and Korra do not demean themselves like that.
And eventually, you are attended to by being unshackled, still wearing your cuffs, though. Come. It is time for you to learn your place in this, your new home. And you guys are single line marched across the plaza toward the palace.
Can I tell anything about this? I'm gonna go full. What is this thing made out of? What? How old is it? What is this?
Seems to be made of quartz and precious stone, primarily, with a lot of obsidian backing to it.
Okay, I'm doing historical knowledge.
You have no historical knowledge on this.
Okay, all right.
You have
cool.
never seen anything even remotely like this. You could
All right.
probably set yourself up as a pretty decent tenured professor
If
you at
Describe it.
Vascone if you came back with a decent academic analysis
said
and proof that this place actually even exists. You know.
I said to
love
memorize
that you basically can do the I traveled with this exotic people.
Yep.
They're really uncomfortable but fascinating, weird reads.
Yeah.
Don't. Please don't. I traveled with the exotics and I brought one
I
back.
traveled the
put it in
strange and
its-
exotic Silk Road and saw the foreign trade customs.
They call it. Oh, there's one very famous one where they just misheard them, and that's where the.
I mean, our country is named for one of those, just not a particularly well-sourced one.
And as you guys
Oh,
are
right.
ushered in through the main doors of this palace,
I mean, Canada was that probably the one you're thinking of,
Yeah.
Nicole?
I was
No,
thinking
I'm definitely thinking of one
America.
like China.
Nah.
Yeah.
there's a number of guards lining the area. And you see that these are wearing that same standard brass collar, but this time set with a single blue gem just under the throat. You walk down a promenade, lavishly carpeted, tapestries hanging, not really embellished with any particular scenes or anything, more motifs of crystal, gem, gold, flames. And then are confronted by a heavy set of brass doors. And after you pause, and the lead guard thumps the butt of his maul on the ground, the doors swing outward towards you. And you are confronted with a throne room. There's very little lighting in here. The occasional faint glow of the similar type of gem that led you to the House Yungara Enclave is the only thing. And as your feet cross the threshold, you can hear the court attendant begin the pronunciations. Welcome to the domain of crystalline splendor, newcomers. You are now slaves under the eye of the magnificent Malik Ikram Hashim Al-Aziz, ruler of the deep caverns, master of stone and flame, the magma fist of the Tao. And as he finishes his pronouncement, you guys are halted and arranged in a line facing this black stone throne where the ranking Tao sits. The throne itself is inlaid with gold that somehow seems to catch and reflect light from none of the sources that seem evident in the room. He sits with his hands clasped in front of him, bluish crystals running in parallel veins along his scalp, bleeding into similarly hued tattoo-like inscriptions that run down his neck and disappear into the collar of an emerald set of robes. And he leans forward. You dare enter my lands, the ancient territory of my ancestors long past. You are either spies or thieves, and as such will be punished harshly. Have you anything to say? Wotan, as you open your mouth before he finishes talking, a fist comes across and just punches you full in the face. Make a Constitution save at disadvantage.
Why disadvantage?
You don't know.
9.
You are knocked unconscious.
Okay.
You guys see Wotan just crash to the floor, kind of bleeding a little bit out of the corner of his mouth, a little puddle of drool.
Look over and down at Wotan. Look back up. Don't say anything.
There's a little half smile that crosses the Malik's face. And he waits another moment.
I'm going to sheepishly raise my hand and say, can you let us go? As I cast suggestion.
God.
All right, let me look at suggestion again real quick.
Here, I'll throw it. Oh. There you go.
Oh, peak coal.
He ate, had a snack, ready to go. Fuck. Dog.
Okay, what is your save DC?
15.
Roll low.
Jeez.
Natural one.
That would be amazing.
Weirder things have happened.
Weirder things have happened.
I mean, this is a specific situation that magic would be very helpful and useful for.
Oh yeah, it doesn't use.
Nope,
Yep.
Does not use somatic.
I don't use somatic.
There's actually quite a lot
All
of
right,
spells. that
here's the
don't use
thing.
somatic,
Here's
but-
the only thing. The
Never
suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable.
Okay.
So I will let you dial that back and rephrase your statement if you'd like, since you know the intent that you're going to do.
Okay. So. Okay, I'm gonna say. All right. Let's see. Make this sound reasonable.
Right. Make it sound reasonable. To a king who has captured you guys sneaking into his territory.
What was his name again?
Could you exile us out of your
his last name is Al-Aziz.
Okay, but he was called the Magma Fist.
He was, yeah. Mhm.
So I will just say, oh great Magma Fist. we were just lost in the Undergress. We did not mean to trespass. Could you let us go?
Oh my God.
Are we getting let
Oh.
go?
Please tell me he rolled a natural.
Somebody rolled a 6.
dumb luck is still luck.
Size, turn to you.
Baby needs to sleep. I can't be this excited.
Unshackle them.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna die, guys. We're gonna die.
No, if he lets us go, we just leave quickly, rapidly. Rapido, rapido.
And slowly, and the guards kind of look, and they look back,
I mean,
but
all
they
we
don't
gotta
see.
do is
They definitely,
ask.
right? They don't seem. They're just like, eh. And beckon, and the major domo comes over and pulls out a set of keys. One of them kind of hauls Wotan back up to a sitting position, sort of slaps him awake a little bit. Wotan, you're not unconscious anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you wake up to having your hands unshackled. And the Malak looks down at all of you. Wow. Okay.
Up to 8 hours.
We have 8 hours to get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
You are visitors, you say. Well, it is not for the Tao to be remiss in hospitality to those from the surface.
I am not saying that out loud. That is Jeremy speaking, not Cora.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Yeah, me neither.
That he seems like such a hospitable group. Yes.
And then there's a pause as his eyes land on Diamond.
Arr!
I can't do anything about that.
Your face is familiar, Skyborn. Who is your mother? And that's where we're going to end for the day.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Out on the endless ocean, we tear along the gales, with rum inside our bellies, warm and freedom in our sails. A wayward bunch of scoundrels, assassins, thieves and slaves. The rich and blue bloods fear us when we hunt upon the waves. And when you see it coming, that flag of baleful black, no point in turning tail, there's no escaping our attack.